ఐసల్ అవి మన భస్మం ఎక్కడి వచ్చింది శవం కాల్చింది వాటి కదా అక్కడ కాలుస్తారండి ఎవరు
Oh, I was on mute and I am talking continuously. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Vamsi.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So let's wait for it. Okay. So first I will show a scenario and I will help you like how to work on indexes first, and then we'll go with blockings, basic blocking and how to avoid with the help of indexes, and some small things like differences between not exists in those things. So it will be a mixture of three things. One for I can say experience with more than 6 or 7 plus, they can understand the first few parts, and then I will come back to the basics again. So it will be in reverse order rather than going from low to high. I'm doing it from high to low today. But I will make you feel comfortable. I can promise that. So I have a situation.
high to low, low to high.
Yeah. Don't worry, Presh. You will come to know. It will be interesting, and you will get to know something new for today. So there is a website by name Stack Exchange, and I am using the same database, Stack Exchange Overflow, that is Stack Overflow, and we have the databases with 2013, 2015. So they are around 100 GB to 150 GB of size, but what I am using is 50 GB, because 100 GB it will be too much for me to work on it. So I'm using a 50 GB copy of Stack Overflow databases. And if you see here, if I click on queries, so these are all the queries, and they have the associated answers with that. Means, for example, upwards versus downwards, day of the week of question or answer. So we have a query here, okay, and I can run that query here, and I can check the execution plan also. So that is the beauty of this website. So we have some queries. So if you want, you can practice yourselves too. Okay, you can fine tune these queries by taking these queries, and you can fine tune them. It will be very interesting. So that's where my time. I didn't get time to. I mean, most of the time I spent on this, and I still need to spend a lot of time on this. If you see here, for example, I am just clicking on some other questions. For example, Stack Overflow rank and percentile. So I have queries here. So if I pass on the user ID, something, for example, random user ID. So I'll say 268. Okay. And if I run the query, so you have to log in. If you don't log in, it will ask you to just click on this. It's okay, fine. Just click on this. So it will fetch you the results. Okay. And also it will help you to understand the execution plan also. So if you see, I got the results, and if I want to include the execution plan, so if I click on this, you will get the execution plan also. So if you want to practice yourselves, and if you want to be a master with indexes, tuning, these things, weight stats and all this stuff, so you can make use of that database. And if you wanted to see how it is fetching the information, you can verify this. So you have the execution plan as well, and you have the queries. They have written this query. And if you want to improve, you can query tune this queries also. I mean, if you wanted to fine tune this, you can do it. Since we have the database here, you can just play with those queries by just copying these queries. For example, if I want, say for example, I'm just getting this query. Okay. It took how many seconds here? 1 minute. Sorry. I think it is 1 second, right? Or 1968 milliseconds, probably close to 2 seconds. So I can get the same query and I can paste it here. Just wait for it. And you just need to pass the user ID. So you can compare both, like the database what they are having and the database what you have restored, and you can work on it. You might get different results because the database what they are using might be different than what you are running. But if you want a bigger database and if you wanted to practice in real time, you can still enhance this database. We have 150 GB of size also. So if you want to practice, you can do it. This is a best opportunity if you wanted to become yourselves to, I mean, if you wanted to expertise yourself, Stack Overflow is the best database, and these are the queries that you can fine tune. So any doubts on this part? I'm not showing anything here, but I'm just showing you where to practice and how to practice.
Hi.
Don't shout on me. Any questions?
Vamsi, is it a paid account? Free?
It's free. It's free. It's free, completely free. And these are the queries what you will get. So we have around maybe 20 queries. Yeah, I'm sharing those queries. So, but the only thing is you have to download Stack Exchange database. I will share that link also. You can download Stack Exchange database and you can restore that database. It's your choice. We have 10 GB database, 50 GB database, 100 GB, 150 GB. So it's your choice. As of now, I'm using 50 GB. I feel it's okay. And we have these many queries. And if you wanted to fine tune them, you can tune it. You can work with them. You can play with them. You will get a lot of knowledge because it's almost close to real time. You will not get this amount of DB size and this amount of queries. So that's what you should do if you want to help yourselves to upgrade. So moving on, I just took one of those queries, like what you are seeing, like upwards, downwards, and some queries. Okay. So before before me showing about these things, you have to understand the tables inside it, right? Where to get the data? I will share that database information at the end of our class. Sorry, I clicked on wrong button. Before going with those demos, ensure that you have some idea on the tables. So we have few tables here, post, votes, users, and all those things. I think please post the link in WhatsApp group. Sure, sure, buddy. I'll do that. We have 6 tables and each one of them will have only cluster index. It will not have any other indexes. It is our duty to create the indexes also. So it is all about our responsibility to create the right indexes and fine tune them. So I will show you now practically and you will come to know. Just give me 1 second. I will drop the indexes if I have any. It's index table, I think table name equal to post. Okay. I have few. I will drop them and then it will be very interesting for you. Drop index. Drop index name on table name, right? Okay, sorry. Index name on table name. And the other one is this one. Remove IX 13. Okay, I dropped it. Now we don't have any indexes. We have only clustered index on the table. So if you see, I have only cluster index and that is on ID field. Let me show you the data of posts. Post is nothing but the questions what you are posting in Stack Overflow. Anyone have an account with Stack Overflow? It's free. You don't need to pay anything. You can post your questions over there. Someone will answer that. Okay, to make you understand about this database. Okay, because before tuning these queries, first you should have some knowledge on this database. So I'm just giving you an heads up, like how it has been laid out and what are the things that you need to have upfront before fine tuning any queries. For example, if I take where select start from users, where name like Brent Ozer, I mean to say. Okay, let me check the columns. Reputation, okay, about me, display name like Brent. Let's check that. Okay, let me stop this. So this guy Brent, with the Brent we have these many fields, and Brent Ozer is also there. So he is one of the users in Stack Exchange. And if you want, you can get that queries also. You can see that information also. For example, if you want, I will show you. Just give me 1 second. I will just pull the right name. Brent Ozer, right? Brent Ozer. Let me go with Brent Ozer. Brent Ozer. Did anyone have Stack Exchange account? I think you can see your names also if you pull out the latest database. So if you see here, I am with the Brent Ozer display name. Okay, this guy has answered so many questions and he has given answers for it. Okay, so he has got downwards, means Brent Ozer's answers were not the right answers. So someone said they have they have given downwards for him, and these many upwards are there for Brent Ozer. And these are the views, and this is his website, and this is its creation date, and this is his ID. So we have the information of Brent Ozer. I think even I was part of Stack Exchange, but they removed me because I was posting links to my website. It is not allowed. You have to post only answers. You cannot reference any websites in their website. That is the problem. They removed me. So if you have any accounts, you can see your names also here. If you are interested in giving answers, definitely you should create an account and your names will appear inside the users table. That is about users table. Posts are nothing but our questions. What are the questions what we are posting, and the answers will be given by someone else. So if it is accepted answer, you will get some accepted answer ID and the answers count, how many answers have given to each question, something like that. So any queries before I show up?
Vamsi, one question.
Yeah.
Vamsi, like, there will be n number of questions. Out of that, Stack Overflow, they will give one right answers, right?
Yeah.
Like they will enable a tick mark.
Yes.
So from the table, how do I know that this is the genuine right answer?
No, we don't need to worry about the right answer or wrong answer. Okay, so our duty is just to see upwards and downwards. Okay, you can check the upwards, means if you are having more upwards to your answers. Imagine I posted a question saying how to find out SQL Server version, and
Right.
you have passed the answer as select @ version. Okay, you got 10 upwards and 1 downward, right? So
Okay.
that means you are given the right answer, and someone will say that answer is right. Okay, I will show you that also. Stack Exchange, for example. Let's consider this. This is a question from some user. We don't know who is that. And if you see, that is the question, and someone has edited this, and someone, if you see here, someone has given the answer for it. Okay, there are different answers, then there are upwards and there are downwards, and you will get reputation. If you are getting more upwards, you will get reputation points. Like this, they have built this website. Okay, so if you want, you can get the information also. Let me show. I think I kept somewhere Stack Overflow ER diagram. So this is how it looks, guys. Not this one. Stack Overflow database.
I think like right or wrong answer doesn't matter at the moment. We are just seeing the database.
Yeah.
The
If
data
you want,
only.
it's
Data
about
only. Like,
data
so we are,
only, but
yeah, this is the for examples only. Like, you know,
so this
doesn't
is how
matter
it
what
looks.
data is in there.
So comments will be there, posts will be there, votes will be there, users are there, badges, they will get badges. If you give right answers, someone will supply badges. So something like this you will have. So this is about the database, because if you want to work on any database, at least if you have some information with you, you will feel comfortable. That's the reason I'm just showing you up how the Stack Overflow database has been laid out. Okay, now coming to our problem. Okay, so this is our query and I'm passing some user ID. So I'm just fetching 26837. I think it is Brent Ozar's ID, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 26837 is Brent Ozar's ID, and I'm passing that ID to this query. Okay, so this query, what it is checking is, it is checking the, we have some query. Imagine, I will talk about this query later. So imagine you got a performance problem. Okay, this is application. This is an application, and you are passing a user ID to this application, and they are running the query. And let's wait for it. Run the query. So I got the results, right? I got 7 answers and 7 scored answers. Unanswers are 0. Percentage unscored is 0. Something I got. That's fine. So if I run the same query inside our database, what will be our performance and how to fine tune this query? Because it is hitting some database. I don't know which database it is hitting and what indexes they have internally. But our duty is to fetch these queries, to take this query and fine tune this query. Now, are you getting this or not? If you have any questions, let me know. I know it is a bit complicated, but if you understand the concepts, you will just love this concept. I'm telling you, you'll just love this idea. Questions here?
Yes.
Going, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so imagine I'm picking up this query. Okay, imagine I'm picking up this query. If I run this query, how much time it is taking? I will just refresh this. Now again, I will pass 26837. Run
2
the query.
milliseconds.
Less than 11 milliseconds, right? 11 milliseconds. So I'm coming here and I'm doing the same thing on my database where we don't have any indexes. Okay. So I will replace this with
Hi, this is Kenny here from Cognizant.
26837. Okay, the same query. We are just replacing the numbers. Sorry, with user ID with these fields with some number. Okay, I'm running the query now and I'm inserting the execution plan. I'm setting the actual execution plan. Set statistics IO1, and I'm running this query. So it took 11 milliseconds in that website when they ran the query with this user ID. But in our case, it's now almost with 9 seconds, it's still running and we are not getting the results. So now it's the problem, right? It's a problem. So imagine now, instead of this, this is application, right? I'm running this application and it is hitting to our database instead of their database. Imagine it is hitting our database and it is up to the DBA task to fine tune this query or place the right indexes to improve the performance. Got it?
Yes.
So
Yes.
now my query is running for more than 45 seconds now. I don't know, like it might take 2 minutes or 3 minutes. That's the reason I said we have 3 flavors of database. I think 4, 10 GB, 50 GB, 100 GB, 150 GB. With 150 GB, it will take more time and the machine should have good amount of RAM and CPU. So on an average scale, I would say 50 GB is a good starting point for us to play on this database. So that's the reason I picked up 50 GB and our query is still running. So now you tell me, what should I do to improve the performance of this query? I mean, like if you want any indexes, suggest me the indexes, or what should I do? How should I create indexes on this table, or should I rewrite this query? Rewriting is something different. So first we'll talk about query indexing. I mean, index tuning rather than query tuning. As I said, we don't have any indexes. And if you see here, SP who is active, this query is causing us to fetch the pages from the disk. So you will see page IO latch. As you can see, page IO latch. It will be which page IO latch? So see page IO latch. Every time you will see page IO latch. So execution plan, it will come up once it gets executed. You will see the execution plan, actual execution plan. You can see the estimated execution plan before the execution of the query. But right now I'm executing it and waiting for the results. And if you see SP who is active, it is waiting on page IO latch shared. Means nothing but it has to pull the information from my disk, from my SSDs on this Azure VM, and it is loading that information into memory. So that's the reason it is showing page IO latch. Means I don't have write indexes. To be very precise, if you see page IO latch underscore shared, means it is pulling the information disk, means it is reading lot of data. Ideally, if it is not having write indexes, it has to read lot of data, lots of data. So now you tell me, what is the index that I should create to improve the performance of this query? Now it is still running. It is now 2 minutes 50 seconds and it's still running. Client is saying it has to run in seconds. 1 second or maybe less than a second, like here 11 milliseconds, right? As you can see, it should be like this, not like what we are seeing. So now if I wanted to create an index, what should be the index that I should create to improve the performance? Tell me how you should troubleshoot this. This is about index tuning, guys. If you create the right indexes, definitely it will run faster.
Should create the index on ID. Which ID we are passing
So,
ID column.
I am telling you again, I have index only on one field, and that one field is cluster index and it is on ID column. So I have cluster index on ID column. See the execution plan. Is there any cluster index? Yeah. So if you check the execution plan, okay, this is my actual execution plan, not even the estimated. So it is doing cluster index scan on the post. Again, it is doing cluster index scan on the post and is going with nested loops and parallelism, something. So most of the times it is with these two areas, right? So it is reading the post table twice, 52% here and 47% here, and then it is fetching the results. Now tell me on what fields that I should create index.
Should create the same non-cluster index on the same field on ID.
Okay, 1 second. See the execution place there, cluster index. Now create non-cluster index on column this where class. Okay, so someone, I mean Anwar is saying like we have to create non-cluster index on where class columns. Okay, I will go with that. Can you tell me on which column should I create non-cluster index? Is it on community own date? Is it on owner user ID? Or is it on post ID, post type ID? Sorry. This is how it real time happens, guys. Exactly. Except cluster index. No, we cannot create
User ID, owner user ID.
owner user ID. Okay. I will do that. Any other fields you want me to include or only owner user ID? We have 3 fields inside where column: community own date, owner user ID, and post type ID.
Include both owner user ID and post type ID.
Based on the selectivity of the
Someone said selectivity. Who said?
Ramesh.
Parmesh. So Parmesh said we have to check the selectivity of the data. Means if you create index on post type ID, let's see how many records we have on post type ID. This you can check with show statistics, or you can use group by. Select count star, comma, post type ID, post type ID. Hey, come on, enter from dbo dot post group by post type ID. Remove this dot. So if I run this now, how many different post type IDs are there in my post table? I will come to know. So we are checking the selectivity. So if you are aware of the database, straight away you can create the index based on the selectivity. If you are not aware, you have to run this query, or you can make use of dbcc show statistics, or you can make use of one more DMV is there from recent entries. It is sys dmdb histo. I don't know about that. What is that? Sys dmdb histogram, something is there. Some new DMV is there from 2016 or from 2014. You can run that DMV also to check about the selectivity. Selectivity is nothing but the uniqueness of the data. Okay, if you are having unique data, then that column is highly selective, and that column should be our leading column. Leading column is nothing but the front column on which you are going to create the first column. Leading column is nothing but the first column. So since I am aware, it will take some time, guys, because it's 50 GB database, and even if you run these queries also, it will take time. That's how the database is. So I know about the database. So if that is the case, the answer should be in real time. I'm talking about real time. You have to check the selectivity of the columns. And if you have to choose the highly selective column as the leading column. Here, the highly selective column is owner user ID, and then it is community owned date, and then it is post type ID. So that is how it is. So if I wanted to create the index, it should be in this order: owner user ID, comma, community owned date, comma, post type ID. So how I am saying this? Because I know the selectivity of the data in real time. Definitely I will not be I don't know about this, and I have to check or I have to verify by using group by class or show statistics or that new DMV. I forgot the DMV. I think it is this DMDB histo, something is there. I'm sorry, I need to recollect that. So now I need to create the index. So I'm going to create that. Let me turn on the light, guys. It's very dark here.
That's why I can't see.
So except cluster index covering, no, we cannot create index on all the columns. So we should be very careful when you are creating the index. That is the problem. Create. I think I have already created scripts for that. Let me check. Indexes. So I think you should not be seeing my screen. Anyways, I'm creating the indexes now on the post table with owner user ID as the leading column, community owned date as the next column, and post type ID as the next column. So I am doing this in this order purely because it's about the selectivity. Owner user ID is highly selective. Next highly selective column is community owned date, and then it is post type ID. That's the reason I'm going in this order. If you go in other order, definitely that index is not going to be used. Even if it used, there will be plenty of reads. It will be of no use. So when you are creating the indexes, you have to create the right index. It's not about blindly creating the indexes. You have to choose the order. For that order, you have to verify the selectivity of that column.
Well, actually, they are in the same order. An order you are fetching the record.
Yeah, when you are writing the queries like this, create index name on table name, and if you are not including any includes here, include class, then I have to follow this order. If you are doing includes, like if I say, for example, include some column name, if I pass on some column names here the order doesn't matter. Inside the include class, the order, yes, that is the histogram. Yeah, inside the include class, the order of the columns will not be considered. But if you are doing on the table like post and then you are supplying the column names, right here, the order of the columns plays a vital role. Inside the include doesn't matter, but outside the include, yes, it has to be in the same order, and we have to follow the selectivity. We have to verify the selectivity. That is very, 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 very important when you are fine tuning the indexes.
We did not get the selectivity here.
No, we can check the selectivity. It's not a great thing. So you can use this query. Okay. I mean, count star column name and group by that column name. We'll come to know about this, or else you can do one thing. So dbcc show statistics and table name. Table name. But for that, I have to pass the index name or column name. Since we don't have index, I have to pass the column name. And also, if you're passing the column name, you should check whether we have the index on that column name. Okay, so for that, what will you do? How will you check whether we have index or column stats on for that column? What is that command that you can make use of?
Help index.
No, help index will let you know only about indexes. I have to use SP auto stats, or I can use that DM stats histogram, SP auto stats, and pass the table name. Okay, here I will come to know the column level stats as well as index stats. See, I got the column level stats and index stats. Index stats, I have only cluster index. That's why you are seeing only cluster index, and I have the column level. So you know how to interpret this, right? I already told you, if you are seeing 2, then it is the second column. If you are seeing 12 here, that is 12th column, 16th column, 15th column. A means, I think, what is A? I think it is 12 or 13 hexadecimal A. I don't know, like I forgot that. So this is the column names, column numbers. So if I just do SP help, okay. If you wanted to check the selectivity, you have to do all these things. I'm showing you the process, but we have scripts to follow that. But I'm showing you the basics. SP help post and owner user ID. Owner user ID. What is that column? Owner user ID. Which column it is? 14th column. Okay, 14th column. So if I go here and if I see 14, do I have anything with 14? No, right? So for that, what we can do is select star from post where owner user ID equal to, just say some digits, no problem. Okay, stop this. Definitely you will get the stats now. If you are using where class, and if you are pulling some information, SQL Server will automatically create the statistics on this column. We already discussed this, right? So I will say I'll at least pass some value for it. Owner user ID, owner user ID is not equal to 0. I will say owner user ID is not equal to 0. Let it run. Once it gets completed, then you will see, okay, I have something like owner user ID equal to 8. I will use that rather than this. These are big databases, guys. So definitely even the small queries will take time.
Vamshi, can you run the like website? You can get the result there.
We can use that also.
That is better. You know the count and everything. Right?
But there are predefined queries. I don't know if we can run our own queries here. We cannot edit, I guess. You got my point, right? These are all
Okay.
predefined queries.
There is no editing.
Yeah, we cannot edit it. Let's do one thing. Owner user ID. I will just supply the right values. Who is this owner user ID? I think, see, we don't have the proper indexes, right? Even the small queries also is taking longer time. Let's wait for it. Real-time queries will be like this only, guys. So I'm not, frightening you. I'm not making you feel uncomfortable, but I'm just telling you the fact that the queries will be larger. There will be a lot of data, and you have to fine tune the indexes, queries, all those things. Let's wait for it. I think it will take time. In any case, okay, I got the result now. So means definitely it should have created the, if any cases in the query, the order of the column has been changed, do we need to change the index structure as well? This is a good question. I will answer this later, Anwar. So 14, right? As it created a column on 14. 14. It will create, but it might take some time. Hope I have that auto create statistics true. Auto create statistics. Yeah, it is true. We have to wait for some time. So once it gets created, you will see that column 14 here. 14 is any hexadecimal number. I don't know, like 10 after that, 11A, 12D. I think this one, right? Everyone is silent. I don't know what's happening. A10 hexadecimal E. I'll use my calculator. Decimal is 14. Okay, E is already there. That's what I'm saying. No, it's okay, Anwar. I mean, you are new to the class, so you might feel difficult to understand. What I'm saying is, I'm checking the selectivity of that column. So for that, I should have statistics on that column. So once I have the statistics, I can verify the selectivity by using this method. To remove this. So this is how. So if you see here, so selectivity, how to find out the selectivity here? Brush. Now it's your time since you asked.
Yeah, so like we pass that like a table name here and that like
Yeah, we have
and
to pass the table name and the column name, what we
column
are
name.
referencing. So
Yeah.
for owner user ID, this is the 7 points on. If I might, so I have these many rows, okay, and I have these many steps. So how about the selectivity? Selectivity is nothing but, so this is the density, means if I select owner user ID and out of one, how many rows? How many? 42.
17 million.
17 million. Yeah, it looks like 17 million or 1.7 million. Okay, whatever it is. So out of this figure, so I am getting unique rows up to 7.7, means it is up to 7% of the table. Imagine just 7% is the selectivity. Okay, so if I do the same thing for post type ID and the other column, community owned date, definitely it will be higher. All density will be higher. So that means I have to choose the columns where the selectivity is high. So definitely my column owner user ID is highly selective here. So I'm choosing that column as the leading column when I'm creating the index. So you have to do like this math. It's about maths, but there is a way to automate this. I have seen some script. I have to double check on real time, but you can check the selectivity of those things with that script. Got it. Okay, so fine. So I'm creating the index now. So this is the index what you people have suggested. So I'm creating that index. And now again, one interview question. I wanted to see how much time it takes for this index creation. What should I do now?
Statistics profiler on.
Yeah,
We
set
need to-
statistics profile on. I didn't do this. So now it's not possible. But if I have turned on that set statistics profile on, I can run that query what I have shared. You can see how much time it will take to complete this index creation. I think it will take 2 minutes roughly. So let's wait for it.
I think SP underscore who is active also shows. Okay.
It is here only. I will take this out, but it will not show us how much time it takes and how many rows are processed, everything like that. So if I'm running this, see, it is just showing page IO latch. And
Vamshi, can you close that query and open the store statistics? Can you cancel that whatever the existing one?
it got completed. So that's what I meant. Set statistics profile on should be there to track the index creation. Is that the same thing what you're saying, Paramesh?
Yes.
Yeah, so that is my question. So my question is how to track the index creation. So we cannot do it from SP who is active, someone Swapnil. It's not possible. It will show the percent complete as null. Okay, now we are getting back to our original query. And sorry, I have to mute, guys. Sorry. Now if I'm running this query, previously it took 3 minutes 24 seconds. Now let's run this and let me know how much time will it take now. I mean, let's see how much time will it take. In the website, when they have written the same query, it took 11 milliseconds, but here previously it was taking 3 minutes 24 seconds. And now let's see how much time it will take. So the index what you have created, will it be used? If it gets used, and what further actions needs to be done from our side to again improve the performance of this query? Are you getting? I know this topic is a bit complicated, but still, I just wanted to replicate the real world scenario. That's the reason I picked this up. So
36 seconds.
from 3 minutes 24 seconds, we are down to 36 seconds. See the improvement from 3 minutes means 180, 24 means 204. From 204 seconds, we are down to 36 seconds. So a lot of improvement is there. Previously, our execution plan was cluster index. So it was scanning the cluster index twice. And now it is using our index. Definitely, if you see, it is doing index seek and key lookup. So why it is going for key lookup? It is going for key lookup because for which column it is going for key lookup? Can you tell me why it is going for key lookup?
Because owner ID is that like a main column of that, like.
No, see, key, when will I get key lookup? Let's go with the basics. When will I get key lookup?
When column is selective, we has to select a particular particular column, column value.
So we will get key lookup when that information is not there within my index, right? So the index, non-cluster index, what we have created, I have created it on owner user ID, community own date, and post type ID, right? I have 3 fields inside my non-cluster index. So if I go to the execution plan, it is going for key lookup. Why it is going for key lookup? If you see there, how to find out why it is going. So if you go there, just keep the mouse over there on that operator. In the output list, you will come to know on which column it is going. So if you see at the bottom, there is something called as score. Let me zoom further. I don't know if this gets increased. Okay, it will not, only this. If you see there, there is something called as score, right? Are you able to
Yes.
see? Yeah. So it is
Yes,
going
yeah.
for score. It is not having that information of score inside that non-cluster index. What I have created, it is going for the column score. Score is not there within that non-cluster index. So it has again go to the base table and fetch that information of that column, like score. I'm asking score also. So for that reason, it is going to the base table. So that is why you are seeing key lookup here. So very simple, very, very simple. If you are going with key lookups, understand that why it is going, for what column it is going. Here in this case, it is going purely because it wants score, information of the score. That score column is not there in our index. Got it? Or any questions?
And if we include the score column as well into the,
yeah, we can include, but just
it will improve that further. It will improve further.
Yes, it will improve, but you have to understand one thing, guys. Here, if you see the rows also, how many rows are being pulled here? Estimated is 41 and actual is 151, right? So it is very thin. It is not thick. Yeah. So 151 rows are being pulled out from this key lookup operator. So I'm getting my voice back. I'm sorry, I have to mute this. So it's just 151 rows out of this key lookup operator. Okay, means it is going to the base table 151. Sorry, to fetch these 151 rows, it is going to the base table. So it's not quite a big number to go to the base table and get this result. It's fine, because if you are having a key lookup where it is pulling so many rows from the base table, definitely you have to include that column inside our index. But here in this case, our key lookup is not that daunting. Okay, it has estimated 41 rows and we are pulling 151 rows. So I think it's okay, not that bad. To be honest with you, it's not that bad. So there is something else that I have to improve the performance of this query. What is that something? Can you let me know what is that? What should I do to improve the performance of this query? Like in that website, we are getting for 1 second, right? I mean, less than 11 milliseconds. So in the similar fashion, I should get this result within a second. What else can we do with this query? So one suggestion is brush float wheel to include score, include index. On what column should I include index? I know
Score
you.
column.
That's what I said. Score is not that. I mean, it's not fetching too many rows. So even if you include score, okay, let's do that. Let's do that. So I will say include score. I think what is the class with drop existing equal to on, right? I need to verify this. Let's check the. Let's wait for it. It will drop and it will create a new index now with score. So what she's saying is we should create a new index on owner user ID and include accept answer ID. So let's go phase by phase. Okay, there is okay. So first people are saying to go with score. I'm doing that first. And once it gets created, then I will create I will drop that index. If it is not improving the performance, I will add that this suggestion, whatever it is showing. So let's wait for it.
Vamshi, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Create index and and create non-index. What is the difference here?
Sorry, create index and
create non-index. So in the missing indexes, it is showing create non-index.
By default, it is non-cluster index. So you don't, even if you don't specify here, it will be non-cluster index. You don't need to worry about that part. If you are creating clustered, you have to add that keyword clustered. Okay. By default, if you create index means you are referring to non-cluster index. One second, my account has explanation. Yeah, so I think that index got created. I mean, people said to go with score, so I'm going with that index. I should have included, I should have changed the index name, but it's fine. We know the reason. So I'll take another window, fresh window, and include actual execution plan and run this. So it took 36 seconds without score, and now we are running it again. And let's see, will it make any difference? We almost completed 20 seconds, but we didn't get the results back. Let's wait for it. So the wider the index what you are creating for your select queries, your DML operations will be slow again. So you have to balance that ratio. So just here in this case, I'm just showing you one query, but in real time, there will be plenty of queries, right? So, okay, we are back. We got 36 seconds again. The same time, just like score column. If you see here, now I don't have key lookups. You got it right? Because everything is there inside my index. I don't need to go to the base table. So it's very clear. So in the first case, we got the key lookup because we don't have score in that column. That is the reason we got the key lookup. So to avoid the key lookup, you said it's good to go with score. So I went ahead with including that score in our columns. I mean, inside the non-cluster index definition, but still I didn't get the information. I mean, the query is still slow. It is taking 36 seconds. So our index is not the right index. Okay, now what will be your next suggestion? So Anwar suggested us to go with include accepted answer ID. So shall I go with this, or do you have any other suggestions?
In the execution plan, we can see there is a broad arrow for the cluster index scan. Maybe.
Yeah. So it is reading the table, and if you see, actual number of rows is just 58, but it is estimating. I don't know that number. 17 million or 1.7 million, whatever it is. So here the problem is here. It is doing the cluster index scan. So somehow I have to avoid this. So what should be the right index to avoid this? And what should be the right index to improve the performance of this query? So the first index suggested is without score. We did that, and now with score we did that. And now again, what should I do? Can I consider this missing index recommendation, or should I do something else? Guys, I know the topic is a bit complicated, but if you have any questions, please do ask.
I think we need to focus on this cluster index scan.
So whatever the existing index, just we can include this column as well, whatever the include column.
Okay, let's do one thing. So I will say includes now Previously I should have added score. I forgot that. Okay, I will do now. And now I have to add accepted answer ID. So we are just tweaking the existing index, and now we are adding the accepted, just like what SQL is suggesting us to do. Accepted answer ID. Accepted answer ANSWER ID. And now I will do set statistics just to show you that profile on, and I will get that query. 1 second. What is that? SSMS, I guess. This is there on internet, guys. I made use of the same query. I've given the credits to this guy. So he is the one who has written the script. It's not me. Copy this and I'll paste it here. And I will use both SP who is active and the one what we are referring by adding the set statistics profile on. I think here. Let's create this. And what is the SP ID? I think 66. Let's change this to 66. And just before that, nothing is there. Okay, and I'm now creating that index. Okay, sorry. Accepted answer ID. Could not find any index.
Drop
Okay,
no need.
I didn't drop that. Okay, let's do one thing. I'll remove this.
Yeah.
And I will drop that index also, what we have previously. Let me drop that. Where is that query help index? Yeah. Blitz index and drop that index. Okay, drop index name. On post. Okay, now I'm dropping it. That is gone. And now I'm creating with the new index. Okay, and I'm running both of them. If you see percent complete, Swapnil, it is showing null, but here this guy is showing me 0.77% got completed, 4.17% got completed. So that's how I can track the index creation. This is not index rebuild or reorganize. This is index creation. Okay, but here also in this query there are few flaws, but it's fine. At least it shows me something rather than nothing.
Can be the same stats on index rebuild as well and reorganize.
Reorganize, you can fetch it from exec request or SP who is active. Anyone will, any query will help us. But rebuild is something again different. That is different story. But rebuild is nothing but drop and create. So you can use this query for that also. I think so.
Okay.
Most probably. So it is 38% completed. So let's wait for it. 57, 66. Yeah, done. So we are done with this index creation. And now let me take another query. Another window. I'll set the execution plan on and running this. So boom. So now I got the results in fraction of a second. See, that's it. From 3 minutes 24 seconds, we are down to 36 seconds for the after the first index creation. And the next index creation, we included the score, but it didn't help. And we have included the accepted answer ID now as per this recommendation. So once we have added that column into our index class, now if you see the execution plan, it is not going with the cluster index scan. Previously, we were with cluster index scan, it is fetching so many rows, but here it's not doing that. Let me pull this to up. It's not doing that, and we don't have any lookups also because we have included the score. Of course, score is not the ideal case over there, but still, as you suggested, I just added it. But if I am the tuner, I won't add score over there. And if you see here now, the number of rows read is that 17 million. The rows estimated and rows actual are one at the same. But here in the previous case, if I go with cluster index scan, even though it is the rows estimated and the rows read are same, but still it is doing cluster index scan. It is taking a lot of time to pull that information. But here it is using the same index, the one index what we have. We don't have so many indexes here. We have only one index, and the same index is being used here. Okay. So that's the beauty. If you create the right indexes, you don't need to do anything. Our queries will work as expected. So it's all about fine tuning the indexes in the proper fashion. Here, the approach what we followed is we first went ahead and we have chosen the selectivity of the column. And based on the selectivity of the column, I went ahead with owner user ID and then community own date and then post type ID. Those are the columns what I have written. So after that, the performance has come down from 200 and some seconds to 36 seconds, but still 36 seconds is not acceptable. So again, we thought of creating or tweaking the existing index. So we added the score class. It didn't help. That is not the right index. And finally, we have added the accepted answer ID. Why we have added the accepted answer ID? Because we are, if you see here properly, we should have right index when you are joining the columns and on the where clauses. So it's a predicates. These are called as predicates, and these are the joining conditions. If you create the right indexes like this, definitely our performance would be super good.
Vamshi, in the include column, we can we remove score and we can just add.
Definitely, we can remove score. Let me change that thing. Where is that? Remove score, right? Okay. First, I will remove this index. So let me remove this. Done. And I'm removing the score now. It will not make any difference. I can bet you on that part. But again, it will take 2 minutes or so for its creation. Let's wait for it. No other go. It will be.
What you're saying, you are changing the filter condition on join. And
no, I didn't change any filter conditions. I'm showing how to create the
filter condition in the sense
in
the plan itself, the actual thing which is like join key, or we can say the key which is matching while joining the two tables, two data sets. That made the huge difference, you're saying, right?
Yeah, I mean, so at first place, we don't have any indexes that, I don't need to explain about that. Second thing is, first we concentrated on where class.
Correct. Okay. Predicate first.
Yeah, predicate first. And we brought the query from 3 minutes something to 36 seconds. And now after the predicate class, now we are focusing on joining condition. So here on the same table, if you see, this is self join, post Q, inner join, post A. I'm saying questions to answers. Post is nothing but, I mean, the post, I told you, right, stack exchange. So that's how it has been built. So questions to answers, I am comparing the same table, and I'm comparing answer ID to the accepted answer ID. Whatever the questions, what we are asking, whether that answer ID is accepted or not. So since we don't have any index on this column, okay, so it has to go to the table and it has to do all the reads, all the for the accept transfer ID, I need to go to the base table to get the information. Now what we did is we just tweaked the existing index to add this column also. We have just included this column in our include class. Where is that? Here, not here, here. When I included that column, the accepted answer ID column into our existing index, non-cluster index, we brought the performance from 36 seconds to 1 second, because it need not go to the base table now. If you check the execution plan, the right execution plan, this is the one. I think this is the one, right? Let me check, double check, because I don't know which window. Yeah. So if you see, it is not going with cluster index scan anywhere. Again, we brought the key lookup into picture because we removed the score. That's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason you are seeing this. But still, score doesn't matter here. If you see, my performance of the query is still the same. We are well within that 1 second or less than a second. So the right
Why
index.
we are running 2 times? If you go to execution plan, again.
Yeah.
So here you are fetching in index C on the parallelism, that is okay, and key lookup, and that is being joined. So which key lookup it is doing?
It is
Or
going for
primary?
score. It is not having the information of score here. Okay.
Okay.
It is, see, it's not
Oh.
about where class only. It's about select, right? When you will
Correct.
get key lookups, you are asking for information about score.
Yes.
Score. If you see here in the query, I'm
The
asking
score
something about
column is
score.
there.
So score is not there in our index. So it has to go to the table to see, to fetch that information. So that is the reason you are seeing key lookup. Previously, this key lookup was not there. I think I saved, not here, somewhere. See, in this case, I don't have score here. Why? Because I have included score in our index. So that's the reason it's not going out there. You got it right?
Yes. So now in this case, we are first of all we are going for the
You are
score.
Chetan, right?
Yes.
Just give me 1 second. I'm getting call from my mom. Just 2 minutes, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell me now, Chetan.
Yes. So what you're saying earlier, score was a part of index. So it is directly going for index seek, right?
So now, if you see here, I didn't get key lookup because score is part of our index. So it need not go to the base table. Once I remove that index here or in the previous window, whatever it is, here it is going to the base table because it is not having the information of score within that index. So it obviously it has to perform lookup to fetch that information.
But in this case, yeah, it is good query, but we are joining it twice. Two tables.
Because we are doing self join here. So we are doing post inner join, post A. So for the first one, if you see here, why it is going to the cluster index scan, you have to analyze each and everything here. Okay. So if you go to the there, I mean, are you okay to go with the internals, because the others might not be able to understand this. So I'm worried about that part also. If you want, we can dig into this. I'm okay.
Yes, I mean, yeah, if that's all okay, I'm also.
Or else I will take this as the last bit. If you have any questions, I'll keep the window same.
Okay.
Your question is,
what if we create clear the cache and run again?
Yeah, that's fine, because we are not having any what is that parameter sniffing issue here. Okay, let me do here dbcc free proc cache. So you are worried about cold and hot reads, right? I got you from where you are coming. Yeah, I just ran dbcc free procache and we have the right index, so it doesn't matter. That's it.
Okay.
So it's not about me caching, I mean SQL caching the pages. So even if you remove the free procache, I executed multiple times, but doesn't matter. If you have the right index, it will immediately give you the result because we got the right plan for this. I mean, we are having the right indexes to help the SQL server in fetching the pages rightly.
Got it, Vamsi. Thank you.
Yeah, so I know Chetan, your doubt is why it is reading the table twice, right?
Yes, because
Yeah.
even in that case, we are joining it twice, right?
Yeah, we are joining twice, so definitely it makes sense to read the table twice because you are doing one filter here. For that, it is using that index, and if you don't have this column, it is going for the table cluster index scan here because we don't ID is nothing but our table only, right? Cluster index scan is cluster index column is on ID. You got it right? So we are saying
Correct.
Yeah, and then you are saying accepted answer ID. We don't have that information in any way in any one of our indexes. So obviously it has to go to the table, cluster index table, to get this information. For the other fields, we have that index and we are doing that lookup or seek only. Depends on whether we have included score or not.
Yes.
I know you still have confusion, but are you comparing anything with Oracle? I don't know, like, but in SQL, this is
No,
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand this only.
Okay. It is a bit complicated, so it might take some time for you to understand, but it's okay. Like, at least you got some idea, right? Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Like this, we can improve the performance of our queries. If you are interested, we can play with these queries, like whatever these queries. Okay, we have around 25, I guess. I didn't count. I think we have 20 to 25. So you can literally play with these queries. It will be very useful. You have to fight from this website, and you can check the performance by adding the right indexes on our databases. So that's how you can learn much better, much better. Okay, I am saving this plan. 1, 2, rest all I will remove. I'll remove this part. I'll remove this. Questions, because at the beginning there were few people, 28 or something, but now we are back to 20. I don't know. I know it's late at India, late time. Whether you're not able to understand or is because of your work, I don't know. Let's move on. And so how many of you are good at understanding the blocking? You know blockings, right? Everyone, you know about blocking. So how to fix blockings? Like, what will you do if blocking happens? Let's talk from generic perspective, and then we'll
just kill the query.
That's it.
Simple answer.
What else can we do apart from killing the query?
We need to modify the query.
Modify the query. Okay. Next.
Or we can create the right index. So with the right index, we can also get rid of blocking also.
Okay, right index, that's fine. And let's do one small thing.
One more thing, Leo. Like, sorry.
It's okay. Call me Leo. It's fine.
One more thing. Just today, I found like there was a storage issue with that. Like that was blocking actually. So the latency to the disk read and write were taking so long, like 800, 500, or 400 milliseconds. So that was causing the blocking as well.
I didn't hear you properly. I was okay. Come again. Sorry for that.
Like I was saying that, like just today's instance, like in my work at today, what we found in 3C was that like a storage issue. Like we had a latency to the disk storage, like that like it's old storage, and we were having a blocking because of that, because the latency and the disk read and write was 700, 600, 800 milliseconds.
Okay, so
And that was
it's
causing the
because of
blocking.
storage issue, you are getting blockings, right?
Yeah.
Storage issue, you are getting because they are not able to read the within that appropriate timelines, and
exactly because the latency for the disk for read and write is 700, 800, or 600 milliseconds, which is very high.
Okay.
Is this correct?
It might be correct, but I have to see that scenario. Yeah, there are so many things. Even blocking might occur because of storage issues. I'm not denying that, but storage is super slow. But are there any DMLs or only select queries? I don't know about that part. DMLs conflicting with selects are only select queries. How it is? Hello?
DML is as well what there.
Yeah, if DML is there, definitely we can think about.
So DML is there means, are they doing a proper commit or not?
We don't know, like how many, I mean, are there appropriate patches or are they doing heavy loads? So there are so many things we cannot comment it
Frequent
directly.
commit or
Let's take another.
if they are running a long DML, say suppose a million rows, and they are just saying DML on the million rows without any batch commit, then it is bound to, it could happen. I mean, it is bound to happen that it could block us.
So let's take one simple query to understand how to avoid blockings, rather than, because I know, like if I show like the kind of queries what I'm showing.
Before you go with this, I just have one question. Is there any role of a TempDB for transaction or any or blocking?
No, I lost you, bro. I lost you somewhere.
Just out of curiosity, I'm asking. I'm not good at TempDB understanding,
Actually,
so just ask.
I lost you. I somehow you got breakup. I mean, I was not able to hear you properly.
Okay. Okay now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is my voice audible, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So what I'm asking before we start, is there any of TempDB in your transaction?
Oh God. I don't know about others. So is it the same thing for others or is it only for me?
Yes, yes. There is some.
Yes, Vamsi.
Okay. Chetan, you can type your question. We can have a look. So I will show you basics of blocking and how to avoid it. So you have to understand it. So like I'm just passing you the basics. Let's understand that. Meanwhile, Chetan, you can type your question because I'm losing you. Okay, let's do one update. Let's do the same thing. I cannot create entire situation, so I'm using begin tran just to replicate the blocking scenario. So I'm updating users here. Okay, I'm adding some repetition points where this is the dates. These are the dates. So I'm saying November 10th or November 11th, November 10th. So the users with the birth date as November 10th, we are going to add repetition points as 100 points. We are adding the repetition here. So imagine this is an query and we are doing some begin tran and we are not updating. I mean, we are not committing a rollback, but still even in real time scenarios, even if you don't add begin tran also, you will get blocking with purely update also. So since this is a smaller database, I mean 50 GB is fine, but still I cannot replicate that kind of stuff. So I'm using begin tran. Okay, so imagine I'm doing this. Okay, 1140 rows got affected and I'm trying to run this query. So straight away I'm getting blocked, right? So why I am getting blocked? How do I know why I'm getting blocked?
You can check the wait
Who is active, like who is blocking what?
Okay, let's go with who is active because in real time you'll use that. So we know that this guy 70 is blocking our 78 because if I see that blocking session, so 78 is being blocked by 70. Straight away I can say that's fine. So now imagine the only option is in real time you will go and you will kill this lead blocker, means 70, right? So that's what you will do. But even in real time, if you are performing updates, you should not kill the query straight away, right? You should get the approval and then you can think about it. Am I right?
Like one
Yes,
second, Vamsi, one same time, like the query has been completed.
It's completed, but it's not committed or rollback.
Alright.
So the lock will
Okay.
be there.
Alright,
So in
perfect.
order to understand in real time, what you have to do is there is one option here. Okay, I think it is get underscore locks. Okay, so if you run that get locks, just a parameter to SP who is active, you will get that lock information. So now you will come to know why you are getting blocked. So first you have to understand that. So this is the blocker, right? 70. Go there, and if you see, it took index. There are three things here: object level, index level, sorry, page level, sorry, top level is object, the bottom level is page, and then at the row level is key level. So at the key level, it took exclusive lock, and at the object level, it took intent exclusive, and at the page level, it took intent exclusive, UX, user updated intent exclusive lock, right? So at the key level means at the row level, so it is having exclusive lock on those rows, on those 1140 rows, right? Any questions here? Did you get this? Very simple. Nothing but I just passed get locks equal to 1 for the SP who is active, and I'm just trying to interpret the information within that locks information. So at the object level, I have intent exclusive, and at the page level, I have update intent exclusive, and at the row level, nothing but key level, I have exclusive lock on those 1140 records, whatever that we are going to modify. And since I'm pulling the same information, 2013, same information, so I'm getting blocked here. I'm trying to access the same information, so that's why I'm getting blocked. So how to mitigate block? The only thing is stop the query, and perhaps you can run with no lock. That is one option. But what is the problem with no lock?
It will read the dirty rate.
And you know what? If you are appearing for interviews and if you wanted to differ from others, okay, the answer is right. It will get dirty rates. That's fine. But if you wanted to differ from others, there are few problems that you should be aware of with dirty locks. Sorry, with no lock. Okay, so the problems are you will get the rows being read twice. Okay, same data will be there are chances to get the rows being read twice. Okay, and you will see missing data also. I will try to show a demo on this part. Okay, when I go with what is it? Read uncommitted or no lock hint. There are two other things apart from that. That is nothing but you are reading the data which is not being committed from the other end. That is fine. But at the same time, we have the problem of missing reads and multiple reads or duplicate reads. I'll show you with the demo rather than showing this. But
you mean it could be inconsistent data?
Inconsistent data. Yeah, you will get that inconsistent data also. So it's not recommended. So how to avoid this scenario? Just a simple query. I'm just showing a small demo. So how to avoid this with no lock is fine. That is different story, but I don't want to use no lock because I know the problems of it. So what should I do now? Let's do one thing. Instead of saying rollback, let's do one thing. I will try to access 2014, which is not part of the data what the logs are held, right? So if I do this, will I be able to get the results? This is different thing, right? I'm asking 2014. I'm not asking 2013. Here I
It
logged
will
it.
not grow and it doesn't exist, right? Data itself there's nothing to modify.
Okay, so let's go with 2015. Just I'm showing you, like even the queries that are not in the where clause of update, I'm getting blocked.
Last access date actually.
Yeah, so I am somehow getting blocked here because it's not allowing me to move forward. Okay, and let's check the logs part again. Anything got changed? No, nothing will, because the logs remains the same. At the key level, we have the same thing. User's ID is exclusive lock, and that's the problem. And if you go with the execution plan for this query, estimated execution plan is fine. So it is doing cluster index scan. And this guy, let me go, stop this and go to the execution plan. So both are doing cluster index scans. So how to avoid blocking here? So if I wanted to avoid, I have to create index here. On what column should I create index? Just a simple scenario, guys. Of course, here it is last access date.
Last date.
and let's
But
do
for
another
DML,
window and see what happens. So I will make use of this window.
so I'm saying one more question.
Yeah.
What weight event do we see? What weight stats do we see when we are getting blocking?
It is here. It will be LCK underscore M underscore S. Let me re-trigger this.
Okay.
Uh,
Because SP was active does show that, right?
yes, it will show you. 1 second. Let's wait for it. This one, LCK underscore M underscore yes.
Okay, share log. Okay.
1 second, guys. I will just close off my laptop. I'm signing off. Me too.
Okay, the one which is getting blocked is trying to get a share lock.
Share lock,
and it is
yes.
blocked due to exclusive lock. Okay, fine.
Exclusive lock at key level.
Update level, key level. Yeah.
Yeah.
For update query. Yeah.
Okay, now let me stop this.
And Vamsi, there is one more thing. They are showing temp ID something, some column is there in SP who is active. So is there a role of temp DB? That's what I'm asking previously
one?
the question.
This one.
Temp DB
For every
allocation.
query, if you are using any temp DB, this guy is trying to show that information, but it is not appropriate when it comes to SP who is active. Also, temp DB, yes, it shows the information, but that is not the right way to track the temp DB. Okay, the right way to track TempDB usage is we should use something else. So that session is still pending. I think Paramesh was looking for that session desperately.
Yeah.
But
no, one more thing.
Yes,
What
yes,
you last time
Vamshi.
you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What you told me that TempDB is similar to the space which is used for sorting. More maybe for hash join, we will be using the TempDB. It will be spilled over to TempDB, right? Like temporary table space which we had.
Yeah.
But how this is a simple update query. Why should it go and use TempDB?
Here it is not going with
scenario.
TempDB, but if you are doing the modification on the pages, okay, for update query, this is not going for TempDB as of now. But your question is in real time. You have seen a scenario where update queries are also going to TempDB, right?
Yes.
I mean, it is using TempDB internally. Why it is using TempDB for update queries also? This is something. Okay, I will show with a demo, Chetan, rather than talking blindly.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
always better to show with demos.
If it is pending, then we'll just
we can
just
I
skip
mean,
it.
there are few
because we'll be anyway covering that. Yeah.
Few things where with demos only you will be able to understand. Even if I talk continuously, it will be of no use. Okay, let's create that.
Other thing is, what if my TempDB somehow is unavailable? What impact it will make to my instance or database?
Then,
will that make any impact?
Yeah, straight away you cannot.
Asking.
You cannot use SQL Server properly. First, if it is log file, it will just throw that errors in read error log continuously, and after some time, it will prevent you to use the instance itself. Just like, I don't know in Oracle, but if your rollback segments is completely occupied,
that is undo table space. That
sorry, undo. Yeah, undo.
Yeah, undo. Yeah, correct. But undo has undo, then it will crash the instance. That is for sure.
Same thing.
Undo is like
TempDB
keeping
also.
the uncommitted data, right? So TempDB also keeping uncommitted data.
No, we cannot compare that both. So that's the reason I said.
I'm asking where you are not committed. Update is done. Where that uncommitted changes has been there. I mean, if someone is trying to read that the changes which are previous changes, which are not yet committed, but I should get the previous changes, right? Because okay, even if you for that also you are getting locked. Okay, fine. That also you are getting locked. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
so
there are
somewhere it has to store, right? Somewhere it has to store the uncommitted changes, right? Because once I hit the commit, those will reflect, right?
It will be there inside SQL log file only. Okay. Few of the SQL log file, because we don't have separate thing like segments or something. It will be there inside log file only, and the rollback operation in SQL
but
Server
log
is
file, okay, fine.
single
So
threaded.
even that log file, okay, yeah, okay. I was thinking, is there any other file where it is keeping something? No. Only log file. So in that case, so if suppose some query, if I'm doing suppose 50 million rows, and somehow someone directly DML of 50 million rows, in that case the log generation would be very high. I mean, it might. I mean, I'm just thinking of a different scenario, guys. Sorry for that. I mean,
Yeah, we are
I may
getting
not be good at thinking that.
deviated.
Yeah.
TempDB will take it
Yeah. Sorry. Fine.
one class.
Yeah. We'll take it
Yeah.
afterwards. Sorry. I'm just
So
thinking over
now
and over.
I am before executing this query, first I am checking the, let me double check if I have anything, nothing. Okay. Let me check the display estimated execution plan. Now it is not going with cluster index scan. We have just created reputation on reputation, sorry, not reputation, on access, last access date. So that's why you are seeing index econ. I cannot show you this part. Okay. Index econ last access date, and key lookup is because I am looking for reputation. So I don't have a reputation column. So it is going for reputation for key lookup. So just see, will it be able to avoid blockings or not? That is what we should look at now, right? And let me change the thing. Let's check this first. Okay, and let's see if I'm able to get this information. See, previously I got blocked, but now I'm not getting blocked. Just by creating the index on last access date, I was able to bypass that. Why I'm getting bypassed? That is what you should understand. It's not about index creation or something else.
Because you are only concerned with those rows, right? You are only working or doing DML only that set of rows. The data which you are scanning or not scanning, yeah, less. So it will definitely complete it quickly. The DML itself will complete quickly, so select won't be
See,
blocking
that is a
the
problem, guys. So first you have to understand, if I'm saying 2013, even though I have the index, doesn't matter. I'm just trying to fetch the same rows of whatever that is being logged by SQL Server. In that case, even if you have the index, doesn't matter. Okay, that you have to understand. The classes, if you see here, I'm having the same class inside my where condition for update or select query. I have the same class. I mean same rows. That is the case. Even though you have index, you will get blocking. You cannot avoid it. But if you change the class, unlike in the previous case where I was getting blocked, now I will not get blocked because I'm bypassing that rows and I'm fetching the rows from index. That index what I have created, I didn't add execution plan. If you see here, I'm getting the information from index, sorry, that new index, whatever what I have created. Okay, and it is going for key lookup. That's fine. It is going for key lookup because of location. That's a different. Forget about key lookup. I avoided the blocking now, right? Unless and until if I am adding the same class, I mean same condition. That is the case, I will get blocked. Whether you have index or not doesn't matter. But if you have the index, at least you can bypass that and you will not get that blocking. So if you have the indexes, right indexes, even blocking and deadlocks can also be avoided, not just for index, sorry, performance tuning. Even we can avoid blocking and these kind of scenarios also. Of course, this is a very small demo, I know that, but still, if you understand the concepts, you can you can make use of same technique for bigger tables or wider queries also. Got it right? Our questions.
So I'm saying what you're saying, when we are having a proper index, it will get to know that that column is itself is not there. So my actual data which I'll be working on will not be there, right? So it will be quick. DML will be quick, right? I mean,
no,
it doesn't have to scan everything, right?
Yeah, it doesn't need to
yeah.
scan, and it goes for the index and it will use that B tree and it will straight away go for this
Correct.
condition and it will fetch. But if you are giving the same condition, no way. There is no RDBMS.
Yeah, but I mean, it has the data, right?
It has the data and it has to fetch from that location only. And those rows, we have the exclusive lock. You cannot bypass that.
So can we go for reduce the data? I mean, just as a remedy, can we just ask them to partition based on not partition as such, but just distribute data so that we will get something, will not get blocked, or it will be distributed over some other pages or something like that. I'm just thinking.
No,
So
it's a B tree.
not,
There is only one B tree. Doesn't matter whether it is Oracle or SQL. It's a B tree.
Yeah, okay, it's only B tree.
B tree, and you are fighting for that contents within that B tree. What we have, whether if you
Yeah,
are
it
doing
have
the
to
index,
traverse that B tree,
yeah,
get
you
a
have to
latch,
go.
traverse that B tree. Yeah, below, less than that, left side, greater than left, right side, it has to be there. I mean,
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
That level has to be checked. Yeah, correct.
Okay, I think it's 11 over
okay.
there.
Vamshi, if we have like there is DML operation insertion or updation is going on, even though if we have index, it will not occur blocking.
1 second, I'll take your question. Do you think this query works? Select count star from users. Forget about that above query. Do you think this query will get blocked or not? Just
it should not block.
Okay, if you are saying not blocked, why it is not getting blocked?
With the where conditions on it will block.
So
Okay, let's.
count function will not work on that. It will directly count.
It is not getting blocked. Can you tell me why it is not getting blocked? That's the reason. I want reason, not.
It's not reading any of the kind of
Aggregate
like
query directly.
exclusive columns actually. It's just
So
counting.
aggregate query
Okay,
will
let's do
go
one
and check
thing.
your primary key, count of your unique primary key, whatever unique key, whatever data.
Let's do one thing. I will drop this index. Drop index on table. Okay, I'm dropping this index. Okay, there is no correlation at all. Okay, I didn't say rollback, so that is why it is. And where is that window? Yeah, it got dropped. And now I'm doing begin trans same thing, and I'm doing count star from users. Why I'm getting blocked here when I have that index? Why I'm not getting blocked? Sorry, why I'm not getting blocked when I have that index? When I don't have that index, I'm getting blocked. Why? Because these are basics, guys. If you understand the basics, it's the same thing. You can build your knowledge on top of these basics.
So for aggregate query, it doesn't
It
have
will
to
go
block
only
all
row.
columns now.
Okay, now I'll make you understand. So previously, when I have that index, okay, now let's check the execution time. Okay, display estimated is also fine. If you see here, what it is doing, it is not having any index. It has to go. I'm saying count star from users. So since it doesn't have any indexes on user table, it has to go to the cluster index scan to fetch that information. Okay, when I'm creating that index on whatever the field, last access date or whatever the field. Okay, because I'm saying count star from users. I'm not passing any conditions here. I'm not writing any predicates where class. Okay, I'm just saying blindly count star from users. So when I'm creating that index, just let me create that index. It will not take much time, I think so. I didn't check. Let's wait for it. These are somewhat bigger tables. So
Vamsi, one more thing. You are doing a DML, and on the same table you are trying to do DDL. With the
we
same
will get
table,
because in SQL it is called as schema stability logs. On DDL statements, you will get schema stability logs. On DML, it is different logs.
Okay, so it should block, right? Because both of them are, one is trying to get access key as in exclusive mode, other is trying to get an object in exclusive mode. So that is conflicting, right?
Yes. So we have that chart. I should have shown you, but it's okay. Let's wait for it. It will take.
It's okay.
One more
I was
minute,
thinking,
I guess.
is the reason why we are getting more time to declare the index? I don't know.
So without having that index, it is reading the cluster index scan to figure out this information, even though I have not written any where predicates. I should have written set statistics. Oh, I think it is there, right? Let's make use of it. Which one it is? 66. I removed that. Okay, it is still there. It's just done. Or I think I have not turned it on. Okay. So what happens is that it's very simple. So when you are creating that index, so it is not reading the cluster index, it is reading the information from the non-cluster index. So that's the reason you are not getting blocked even for select count star from users. That was the case. Let's wait for it. I don't know how much time it will take. Oh, I think maybe block. Sorry, this is the one problem. Yeah, I got it now. Sorry, guys, I didn't realize that. Yeah, it got created immediately. Now, if I run this statement, previously, if you remember, just keep an eye. It's cluster index scan. Okay. Now, if I do count star, it is not cluster index. It is non-cluster index. Okay. So I'm not touching the base table. That is the reason I'm able to fetch the information without getting blocked. When I'm writing queries like select count star from users, even though I'm saying update on users table with some condition, doesn't matter. If you have the another index, any index for that matter, not only on this last access state, you can create index on other columns also.
It doesn't
Doesn't
have to go
matter.
to table.
Yeah, it will not go to the table and it will get that information instantly from that non-cluster index. Okay, so this is just the basics about blocking, and I will try to see if I can.
What if you have a different non-cluster index? I mean, you have one non-cluster index.
Doesn't matter.
Will it go and check? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter because it is just pulling that information from non-cluster indexes on any of the non-cluster index. So it is not about the criteria of the column. It's about this condition. It has to avoid the base table to avoid this blocking scenario. That's it. I know it's a bit complicated for freshers or less than 6, but
Vamsi, can you just repeat it? Once we create an index on that particular the last access date, so can you just repeat that particular thing? It is not getting locked. Yeah, that's what.
Zaim, right? Okay. Why it is not getting blocked? So is it with 1 second, guys? Non-cluster index separate page. Yeah. Zaim, so your question is with last access date when we have that index, right? Or count star from table name? Which one? This one or this one?
Right. Select count star from the user.
Okay. When you are saying count star from user, if you see the execution plan, okay, so it is not going to the base table. First thing means, let me drop again. I'll show practically rather than this. Let me do first rollback. Okay. Drop. Okay. Now if I'm seeing count star from users, okay. If you see the plan, it is cluster index scan. It is, I don't have any other index. Let me do one simple thing. Instead of doing last access date, let me do it on any other column and see if that works. Take reputation here. I know it's very late in India, so I used the wrong name. Sorry for that. Okay, let me drop RS. Reputation. Even if I am doing select count star from users now, okay, and if you see the execution plan, it is not going to cluster index scan. It is using my ix underscore reputation, the index what I have created. Okay, now if I'm doing this operation, okay, and I'm now doing count star from users, okay, but okay, it's a different story. Wait, let me.
I think it should not blocking.
Yeah, it should not get blocked. Let me check the execution plan, how it is retrieving the data. It is using count star from ix reputation. Okay. Reputation is another index, so it will order based on reputation. But here I'm saying where class access state. We don't have index here. We don't have index on last access state. Okay, now let me do one thing. Okay, and now let's create this. First, you will see count star from users. Which index will it use? Will it use ix reputation? It is still using ix reputation. That's fine. So now, okay, now if I do count star, I'm getting blocked. Oh, it's a different scenario. If it is using ix reputation, it is getting blocked even though I have that index. Okay, I'll check this tomorrow, guys. It's because it's 5:42 for you. It will be 11:12, and also I want to bring my kid, so I will continue from there only. Here only.
Okay.
Hope I recorded the session, right?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, yes,
That
thank you,
is
bro.
great, Vamsi.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Vamsi. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Vamsi.
Can you share that link in the database?
Stack Overflow, right? I will do. I'll
Yes.
go the links in the WhatsApp group. I will ping directly.
Vamsi bhaiya, if possible, can you just have more scenarios on the blocking, because I'm facing issues on the client side with the blocking only. The CPU is getting too full, that a big amount. That's what we.
Sure, I will, because I have to create scenarios, which is taking a lot of time for me. But
No
I'll try
issues,
to do
bhaiya,
that.
no issues.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.